I think we're going live. It is being recorded. Come on. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder why it's taking so.
If you hear a ton of laughing in the background, they're doing a panto to me next door. Ricky's rehearsing it.
They're doing
I start laughing, you know why.
Oh, no, we don't.
There's a lot of that going on, Katie.
Oh, yes, you do. Right. I just need to go to the bathroom very quickly, so I'm just going to mute. And Katie, I'm going to make you co-host so you can let people in. And that's a good way to learn how to facilitate. Okay, I'll be 1 minute.
Yeah, me too. Thanks.
Okay.
Hello.
Hello, Charlie.
Hello, Kitty. How are you?
I'm all right, thank you. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. We're just on another call there, so straight back to this. And I grabbed an apple. I'm starving.
No, no rest for the wicked, my friend. No rest for the wicked.
Mm. Mm. How are you?
Yeah, I'm all right. I'm all right. I've had a super busy day. Yeah, so it's nice to be here. Take that time. And I loved your latest podcast.
Well, thank you.
Yeah,
It was super scary doing it.
But your confidence has grown so much since you've been doing them. Like on that bit in particular, like your speech was much calmer than it has been. You know, really noticed to me.
Well, thank you.
So that's really nice.
Thank you.
Keep going, Katie.
Oh, okay. Hello, Claire and Vicky.
Hiya.
Hiya, you okay?
Yeah.
Waiting for Ali to come back. She's nipped to the loo. There she is. Okay, well, David has told me to just keep going, so I'm going to do it, I suppose. Let's build the container. I'm going to check in today with feeling gratitude for having this safe space and for feeling empowered and confident. And I will pass it to Ali to check in.
Thanks, Katie. I'm checking in a bit of the opposite, actually. It's been an interesting first week and there's a lot to learn and it's very different from what I'm used to. So there's a bit of, not imposter syndrome, but there's a little bit of, am I up to this? Am I going to be good at this? I don't really know what I'm doing. I don't know what's happening, all of that stuff. And I'm just dealing with that. I've had some really good chats with people this morning. Claire and Vicky have helped us today as well. And it's, I'm in a better place than I was this morning, but I'm still feeling it a bit. Thanks.
Who are you going to pass it on to, Ali?
Oh, sorry. I'll pass it on to Charlie, who's on my screen next to me.
Thank you, Ali. I am checking in more relaxed than what I was from my last call. I always get nervous, excited when I come onto these calls. And I'm looking forward to the container. And I shall pick Daisy.
I'm feeling excited for the container today. But in general, I've been feeling a little bit low recently. But to be fair, I just had some really good news, so that's boosted me for this afternoon, to be fair. So yeah, I'm feeling all right. I'll pass over to Claire and Vicky.
I'm checking in with pain today. The cold's not doing us any good. So yeah, that's me. Vicky.
I'm checking in good. I don't know why, but I always seem to get a bit nervous when I'm doing these. I don't know why, but apart from that, I'm checking in good.
And we're passing two.
Who is this?
Then we've got left
Just David left, I think.
Pastor David.
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
So I check in.
Yeah.
I also have the anxiety and a sense of like, oh fuck, I've got to hold this all together. Do I know what I'm doing? Am I going to? So I have that whole debate in committee, but I'm checking in. Very grateful that you're all here. Really very grateful. And I'm really, this gives me a sense of meaning and purpose in life. And that's really important for me and my own kind of mental health and well-being. So I'm very grateful for being here. It's a nice turnout. And yeah, so Katie, you're doing great. Keep going, love. Are you okay to keep going?
Yeah. I'm happy to give it a go. So where do you want to go today? I'm quite interested in what Ali said about the imposter syndrome, because that's something that I'm just getting past myself. So do you want to talk a little bit about that, Ali?
I'll try. I only started on Monday, and Recovery Connections, well, I kind of worked for them before. I didn't actually work for them. It was like an offshoot little project thing. And now that I'm with them, it's very different to what I've been used to in the organizational aspect and in the not the expectations, but in how things are. It's a kind of learn as you go environment. And I'm very used to being trained and doing, on the back of that. So I know I've got this, I think I've got the skill set for the job, but I don't know it. And I'm around people who are really experienced in it. And I'm sat in groups with them, watching them do a wonderful job of mediating and opening discussion and watching the flow of it and seeing how they do it. And there's a bit of me going, how am I going to learn to do this? And so whilst I am officially a rehab coach, I don't feel I am yet, and that's, I kind of want to run before I can walk. And what do I know? What don't I know? There feels so much that I don't know. And that all gives me the imposter syndrome feeling, of, am I good enough? It affects my self-esteem stuff as well. So, yeah, so I've got that going on quite a bit.
Why do you think they gave you this job? What skills?
Yeah, because I've got the right skill set for it. I know I have. I'm not worried about my skill set, actually. I know that I'm articulate. I'm normally really quite confident. I'm good at leading groups. Public speaking doesn't faze me, all of that stuff. It's the internal stuff. I'm watching people who are really good at this, who are really experienced at it, and going, I don't have that, and wondering how long that'll take. And it's such an anxious feeling because I don't really know what I'm doing. I am just winging it. I don't like winging it. I like planning. I like organizing. Winging stuff is not what I do normally. I'm normally a bit more structured with a bit more of a framework. And I think, so it's not the skill set stuff. It's how do I actually do this? Nobody's teaching me how to do this. I just have to do it. You know what I mean?
I do. Do you think it would be fair to say that you're looking internally and then maybe comparing yourself to others and feeling a little bit less than?
Yes. That's it. So less than. Yeah, you're right. It is. I feel small around people, and I'm used to feeling one of, and that's not there yet because everything's brand new. Everybody's brand new to us. Nobody really knows me yet. I don't know them yet. So there's all that stuff, which makes me feel small and like I don't want to take up space. And it doesn't help that at Gateshead there isn't much space. I mean, Claire and Vicky can attest to that. We're all crammed in a room earlier, and I'm very much feeling I don't want to step on other people's toes. So that's making me feel smaller too, even though, you know, I'm meant to be there. There's loads of stuff that goes round with that, you know? And it's not easy.
What do you think you can do to maybe make that easier, to make those adjustments?
So what I did do this morning, because I woke up at 5 a.m. with all this rolling around my head. It's day 4 of my new job. And it was on us, and I couldn't really get a distance from it. So I looked at it a bit and wrote some notes and stuff. And then I came into work and I spoke to people. I spoke to the other 2 rehab coaches individually and told them about my fears and my anxieties. I was just had an open, authentic conversation, and that did really help because I feel like they're my allies now. Like, not that anybody else there isn't my ally, but they're doing the job. They're the ones I can learn from. And one of them said to me today, "You'll bring different things than we do to this. You're not less than, you'll bring different stuff." And that helped a lot. It did.
It's good. So you're already putting some things in place to help you through it.
I can't sit on this stuff.
No.
Yeah, because it would fester and it would come out sideways, and then I'd start crying, or I don't know. It would just come out other than what it is. You know what I mean?
Mm. So what are other people's experiences of this? Does some other people want to come in on the imposter syndrome? Charlie, have you got experience around that?
Did you say Charlie?
I did say Charlie.
Oh, I got a fright there. I was just dozing in my own head.
I'm waking you up, Charlie. I'm waking you up. Come on.
Sorry. First of all, man, I was thinking, is Ali Scottish?
No.
Whereabouts in Scotland are you from?
Born in Glasgow, Charlie, but lived all around.
Are you originally from Glasgow?
Originally a wee GI.
Whereabouts in Glasgow are you from?
Born in Pollokshaws.
Oh, I'm from Paisley.
Oh, right.
Anyway, yeah, imposter syndrome, you spoke about. I think I've been suffering that all week, if I'm honest with you, because I'm kind of going at a couple of projects myself at the moment, and I just spoke about this in my other call actually, where I'm finding it hard not really batting ideas off of someone that I'm now, like, because I kind of lead my own. I kind of lead my own business or whatever it is. It's hard when it's hard for myself. I mean, when I'm second guessing myself all the time. But I just know that if I've got the right integrity and my passion is in line with my integrity, then I know I'm generally all right. I launched a YouTube new video last night actually, and before I sent it out into the world, I sent it to a friend because I just got that sort of like that fear again. I was like, oh no, what happens if this is all wrong and this is all going to explode in my face? And I sent the video, and she came back and said it was okay. I had a feeling everything that was going to be okay, but I think that imposter syndrome has followed me most of my life, and sometimes I think it's good to have that. I'm not so much imposter, but that ability to know that you're on the right course, you're doing the right thing, but sometimes it's good, man, just to have that man double check, and that's what I did my last night. But I can identify with that imposter syndrome. I don't know, man, if it's I don't know if it's I don't know if it's because I felt a bit lonely my whole life. Actually, you know, I felt really lonely my whole my life, and then when I come into a community that embraces you, it's you kind of it kind of takes you by um I'm sorry, man, I've got a stutter. It takes you by surprise that there's people there that will motivate you, man, and inspire you. And that loneliness, man, that man I felt my whole my life is kind of going away now a little. Um, but yeah, I don't know, man, if I've just ranted there or if that made sense.
It makes a lot of sense, and you shared really nicely. And please don't fucking apologise for your stutter. For goodness sake, we're all here. We all take the time. You know, it doesn't matter. Does anyone else want to come in on that imposter syndrome? I'm interested to know. You know, we all come from recovery backgrounds. Do you think that has an input on it, or do you think everyone has that little bit of imposter syndrome in them? Claire, Vicky, what are your thoughts?
I think everybody probably suffers with it from time to time, but I think us being in recovery might impact us a bit more. Like what Charlie was saying, the feeling like lonely all your life and not quite fitting in the places. I think a lot of people in addiction do feel like that. So yeah, I'd say we feel it a bit more than others.
Same in it.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, I don't know if I've got stuck or everyone else has got stuck.
No, but it's all good. So,
Oh, okay. Everything stood still for a moment.
I just want to jump in if I may. Yeah. Ellie, how are you doing?
Sorry, David.
How are you doing?
I was all right until the
Oh.
lights just went. Oh my God. Hang on. I don't know if these are on a timer or something. Hang on.
But on a sensor, so if you don't move to go off, you just got to
There you
wave your arms about or do the YMCA. That sometimes works.
Okay, that was great timing. I feel a lot better than I did this morning from having spoken to people about it and then bringing it here. It just helps to hear other people. But I think that's a really good question, Katie. You know, is it just people in recovery or is it everyone? And I liked what Claire said a lot, that we feel it more, I think. Like, I feel like there's always something kind of waiting to go, are you good enough? Are you enough? You know, and most of the time that voice is really quiet, but it starts roaring when I'm in new situations. So no, I'm feeling good to be here. It feels like a safe space. So I didn't realize I needed this today.
So one thing I want to say is that everyone feels this feeling. It's not just people that are in recovery, but it might seem that only people in recovery feel this. Yeah, because of the experiences that we've had, because of the stigma that has gone with it, and our traumatic pasts. Yeah, but I think everyone suffers from, well, everyone is blessed with imposter syndrome, because it's actually something that helps you up your game. Yeah. and Charlie, I really wanted to get curious with you, if that's okay, around your stutter.
Yeah,
Yeah,
of course you can.
So I've noticed, like, when you start to get, and this is just a complete projection of mine,
Yeah.
but when you start to get really vulnerable,
Yeah.
your speech starts to stutter. Is that correct?
Yeah, there's certain sounds I can't. There's especially when I'm speaking the R's when I'm going into like a passion, when I'm going into speak passionately, because I don't know when I'm going to go and
Right,
speak
okay.
passionately. The the R's and the S's I found extraordinarily difficult, but my head's already telling me that I'm going to. My head, I mean, gives me like a second warning that the sound is coming, so get prepared. And then so it's
And, what,
either
and what's your head preparing you for?
it's preparing me for the fear. It's
The
preparing me
fear.
for the fear. Yeah,
So the fear comes up and it says, "Watch out, Charlie. You're going to
yeah,
fucking embarrass yourself in a minute."
yeah. Completely.
Ah,
Yeah,
thank you for sharing that. Okay.
yeah.
All right.
So it's I've had a stutter since I was able to talk. I lost the voice of speech because I was because I took away from my mum at a very early age, and then when I came back, I never spoke, and when I did speak about the age of 5 or 6, I didn't have a voice, and then the voice became under terrible stammer. And it's only just been recently that I found my voice, because I would only go into a conversation if I knew I could get out the conversation. So it would be very short, very sweet, very direct, and then I'd be out. So it's only been the last year, well, the first year in AA, I would not speak because I knew like I couldn't speak moment. I could speak, and then they asked me to chair a meeting, and I stuttered all the way through. I stuttered all the way chairing this meeting, and it was horrendous. But I went back the following week and I done it again. So it's only been the last year that I've been actually able to come into like these sort of closed situations, or even go and share my story now. But yeah, so my head might give me like a second warning that this sound is going to come in and I'm not going to make it. So it's either just stutter, or I can either just stutter all the way through it, or 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 it will give me an out. There'll be like another word. So I can't say the word solution. I could say it there. And if I cannot say that word, my way out is saying there's a way out. So, so it's like I'm always running on it, and but I've been able to tell some fabulous stories now because of my stammer throughout my life, and I've been able to smile, man, and laugh at it. But it still does give me the fear of death. It's the only thing that gives me the fear of death.
Okay, so I just want to repeat some of this, if that's all right with you. So you said you were adopted, you were taken away as a kid, you didn't speak, you then came back. It says my internet connection's unstable. Can you hear me okay?
I can hear
Can
you,
you hear?
David.
Yeah, okay. So that's some proper childhood trauma, huh?
Yeah,
Yeah, okay. And then I can imagine really struggling to speak. I'm sure there was a lot of ridicule and criticism that went with that as well, especially growing up, excuse the stereotype, but growing up
yeah.
in Glasgow and then speaking that funny language that you lot speak up there that just came in when you and Ali started speaking. Yeah. And I just want to say that I'm really moved by your honesty of bringing this to the container and kind of putting it in the room here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
thanks, David.
Okay. So yeah, I'm just always impressed by the courage that we as humans bring to these containers. Yeah. And I guess for me, I also need to be able to have the courage to listen to Charlie's story. To actually understand there's a fucking scared little kid inside there that's fucking overwhelmed, stuttering and stammering. And I just got that picture when he got really excited and passionate. You know, he's like fucking really wants to talk. And then the words don't come out. He's like,
It's like, you fucking bastard.
yeah. And I just think it's so. Oh, okay. So Charlie, yeah.
Yep.
How do you think your gift of vulnerability has helped Ali with her fear of being found out and being caught out?
I think the gift of vulnerability is to show other people that it's okay to be vulnerable, especially in a container like in this, where it's a safe space. And what I've gotten to know over the last couple of years, that my vulnerability has been my superpower actually, and not this egotistical, ex-hooligan, man, violent ex-hooligan and all this stuff. Because that was never me actually. That was just layers I had them put on to tell people to just fuck off, back the fuck off. But actually, the more that I've gotten to know that scared little boy inside and show Ali like my stutter and my kind of life, then I'm hoping it's been able to put her at ease a little.
It did, Charlie. Thank you.
Thanks, Ali.
Well, Ali, your face looks calmer.
Mine.
Yeah. You got like a little smile there. You seem calmer.
Empathy and compassion calms me down.
Okay. All right. Okay. So how's Katie doing in holding space in the container here? What do you think, Claire and Vicky? What's Katie doing well?
She's been doing good at asking open questions, I think.
I agree. Anything else? Daisy, what's Katie done well?
I think Katie's been really good at asking questions and kind of going a bit deeper with letting people go forward with their answers, giving them the space to talk. And what she's not always good at is leaving silence. And I think she's getting there. She's doing really well with that, to let people expand on their answers without coming in with another question.
That's very insightful, Daisy, because there was a time when she held the silence really well there. And I was about to type there, well, you're doing well with the silence, and then she jumped in and spoke. So great. The one thing I would be a bit cautious of is when Charlie did start stuttering. Yeah, the way that you said it's fine, jump in, that might be seen as a bit of a frat. Yeah, and I know you really want to bring him in and make it all okay, and he must like fucking we love him as he is, but just like let's just consider that from the coaching perspective.
I was very
right.
I was very conscious of not frapping because that's my thing.
Good.
So I was very
great.
conscious of trying not to do that.
Great stuff. All right. Wonderful. Okay, so as long as you're kind of conscious about it as well, like is this a frap? Isn't this a frap? Okay. Cool. All right. So let's just whip around the container and just see what we've learned so far. Ali, just to give you some context, this is systemic wellness practitioning, and this is where we use coaching as a skill set to show up better in our roles within the organization. Yep, so you've taken on the role of a rehab recovery coach. This is to help you in your role as a rehab recovery coach using coaching techniques. It's not about learning about how to coach. You know how to do that now. You'll know how to do that. You just fucking go in there and say, fuck, I don't know. What do you think? And then make it up.
Oh, you and Ricky are really similar.
Yeah. Yes, it's true. It's true. Okay, so what did we learn? Ali's learned that me and Ricky are really similar. Okay.
How are you feeling, Daisy?
Good. I'm always feeling good, you know that. No, I am feeling fine. I've learned that it's obviously important to leave space for people to talk, like you are now, and I'm rambling on.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And Daisy,
How are
what have
you
learned?
feeling, Katie?
Well, let's just stay with you for a bit, Daisy. So your role is one of fundraiser.
Yes.
What you lead fundraiser for Raw?
Yep. Yeah.
Okay.
It says lead like there's more of us, but I'm the only one fundraising.
Okay. Okay. And how has the art of coaching helped you in that role or hindered you?
I'm not sure, to be honest. I think it could help me more if I was having maybe more conversations with people. It's quite hard at the moment to get out of people what they want, because we've been asking for a wish list for a while, and that's still not really happening, but it's coming slowly. Yeah, honestly, I'm not sure.
Okay. Claire, Vicky?
What's the question?
What have you learned so far from the container, if anything?
Learned that even though somebody who's worked in recovery for a while can still get imposter syndrome, that's come as a bit of a surprise that Ali said that she had that.
Ali, I've been here 8 months and I'm still the same. I still get nervous and I'll so get used to it. Got out to be thingy for. We'll just take each day as it comes.
Charlie?
I am learning the power of the container and how we can use the container to empower each other, and show Ali that it's okay to have those imposter feelings and to speak them out, because I think that imposter syndrome, and as you said, man, David, everybody has that problem at some point, and it's not just recovery. So that's what I've been learning.
Cool. Ali?
That we are all in this. Like there's some people. What am I trying to say? I don't feel comfortable at the moment. Is what. What have I learned in today's container? That I am alone with this. Sorry, David.
Nothing is also an appropriate answer. I've learned nothing is fucking useless.
No.
It's a waste of my time.
No, that's not true. Oh, I don't know if I've learned anything, but what I feel better from having listened to people. There's kindness and real vulnerability in this room, and that always helps me. So I don't know if I've learned anything as such, but I feel a lot better.
Great. Okay. Katie?
Yeah, along with that, I think is the term experiential learning. So, you know, we're doing it, so we're learning by doing it, and so then I can see the benefit in it. From the session we had last week, you know, there was some direct results for that from me, actions that I took that made me feel better and did what it needed to do. And I find that every single week, whether I learn something educationally or about myself or people in general, there's always something to take from it.
Right. Do you want to elaborate on that?
Yeah, I can do. Last week I was sharing that I was a bit confused about my recovery path, my recovery journey, where my passions were lying. And I was doing a whole AA versus other ways of recovery, amalgamating it, questions in my head. And Kai asked me some very direct questions around that, which made me think. And as a result of that, I've gone hard and fast back into my AA route, because that was what it needed to be for me, for my own recovery, and separate that from what I do in my job. So it was a direct result. I acted on information that I got from the container, really, and the result from that was good.
Fantastic. Okay, so that's a great segue for us to move into the recovery wellness program. So the recovery wellness program that we do is broken up into 3 weeks. Yep. And it's a rolling program. That means that at the end of week 3, you go back to week 1. Yep. So it goes 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And anyone can join at any time. It doesn't matter what week you join. The next week you'll just catch it up. Yep. And it lasts over a year. So we'll work with people. Maybe they come in and they're on a harm reduction thing, and then they decide to go in for treatment, and then it's got the aftercare and everything. So there's a consistency in the program. Yeah. And the first week is where we're going to start today. And I'm really pleased Katie's gone back to AA and that pathway, because the first week is about spiritual principles. And each of the steps represent some sort of spiritual principle. In fact, lots of steps can represent lots of spiritual principles. But I'd just like us to focus on spiritual principles which run through any type of religion. So it runs through Christianity, Islam, Judaism. Even if you're an atheist, a spiritual principle can still work. So the spiritual principle of honesty, yep, you don't have to believe in God, but you can still be an honest or a dishonest person to practice honesty. Yep. So I don't have to believe in God to be dishonest and then to feel bad, to feel a sense of guilt and shame that I've been dishonest, because my parents and the environment I was brought up in, I was taught not to lie. But with addiction and that sort of stuff, I learned that I had to lie because I couldn't be honest about certain things, because society doesn't like that sort of honesty. Yeah. So a lot of people have been secretive, yeah, or kept things to themselves because society hasn't been able to deal with it. Yeah. So for example, if somebody was homosexual back in the 60s, that was something you had to be very dishonest about in your behavior, but society wasn't able to handle it. Is that making sense? People that were taking drugs, you couldn't go and talk taking drugs because they were fucking illegal. Yeah. And if people go and they start using drugs again, after being in recovery and people ask them, are you using? They might lie about it because of whatever reasons. If I get honest about taking drugs again, social services are going to come and take my kids away again because of my history. So I just want us to talk about spiritual principles in general and how we bring that into a container and to talk about it. Does that work for everyone? Yeah. And just to take it a little bit further is how can you bring those spiritual principles into your role within your organization? Because in the workplace environment, you're looking for functionality. Yeah. Is the person able to function and to fulfill their role? I've seen a lot of people that have a lot of clean time, but they don't have much recovery. And I've seen a lot of people that don't have much recovery in terms of clean time, but they got a lot of recovery. Sorry, they don't have much clean time, but they got in fact, I've seen a lot of people who are fucking off their tits, and they're pretty wise people. I hope my language wasn't too inappropriate there. All right, so let's go. Let's see where this takes us. We'll go for say 15 minutes and then we'll take a break and then come back. So who here is part of a 12-step program or has been part of a 12-step program? Okay. That was a slow hand up, Claire, at the end. Oh yeah, all right, me too. Okay. So Vicky and Daisy, no. Okay, it's hard enough to lip read, let alone in your accent.
No, I've done my 12 steps as well.
Oh, so okay.
Just me.
Okay, so everyone here, bar Daisy, has an experience of 12-step fellowship. Yeah? Okay. And Daisy, you're in recovery, yes?
Yes.
Wonderful. Wonderful. So what spiritual principles are common in your recovery that there are with 12-step people?
No lying. I'm not, honestly, I'm not very familiar with all of the 12 steps. So I might not be able to make comparisons, but I think one of the biggest principles in my recovery is no lying. Truth.
Yeah, so honesty, huh?
Yeah.
And then also service. You do a lot. I mean, you're here voluntarily. You're doing voluntary work. That makes you feel better about yourself. It raises your spirit.
Yeah, I would say so. Definitely.
You're not too sure. Yeah.
I do think so because before I started volunteering with Raw, like you were saying, I've been clean for a very long time. It will be like 5 years in January.
Wow.
But for say 4 years of that, I spent the whole time not stepping out of my comfort zone in fear that I might suddenly relapse, you know. So volunteering with Raw is hugely out of my comfort zone, and it's made me definitely grow as a person and more confident now in myself and with other people. Like a year, 2 years ago, I would never be here talking on a Zoom call. Like that would never happen.
So that's courage.
Yeah.
And
So volunteering
faith.
has helped me.
Yep, there's faith there. And then there's trust.
Yeah.
Cool. Willingness. Is that, oh fuck, I've got to do a Halloween party. All right then, fuck. Oh.
Yeah, it was a bit like that.
I think integrity for Daisy as well. Sorry, I know I'm stepping on toes there, but
Go for it.
a huge
Whose
part of
toes are
you.
you stepping on? I don't see you stepping on toes.
I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, you know, I see that in Daisy, and I see actually testament to how she has grown through this experience of volunteering, and that in our volunteering we kind of try and keep these principles, and she's gathering those principles as she's going along. You know, I see it that Daisy has changed immensely from starting by doing what other people do.
Just copying everyone.
But I guess building that thing, exactly what you're talking about, those principles, you know, learning to live by a set of principles, if you like, without even realizing.
So what is integrity to you guys in a container?
It's a really hard word to explain, isn't it? I know that feeling.
Describe the feeling.
It's a warm feeling. It's that, do you know what? I know that they're all right, that I can trust them, that they kind of make me feel safe.
So when someone's acting with integrity, that's how you feel?
Yes.
Okay, and how do you feel when you're acting out of integrity?
Saint-like.
Out of integrity, not in.
Oh, sorry. Oh God. Yeah, not saint-like. Oh, I feel shit. It's that, honestly, recovery has ruined lying, everything, you know, all these things. It's ruined it all. I can't do any of it anymore because I feel so uncomfortable if I'm doing something for the wrong reasons, and I have to put it right as quickly as possible.
Yeah, so that feeling is shame, yes?
Yes.
Yeah, so when we act out of integrity, we can feel shame. Shame is a truth teller. It tells us about our own value system. And if we feel ashamed about our behavior, we can then change it. If someone doesn't have the capacity to feel shame, they're a psychopath. So if your clients, patients, participants, colleagues, whatever, have the ability to feel shame, then we're on to a good start. So Ali's imposter syndrome, yeah, is she's really worried about being caught out and is made to feel shame that she can't do the job. You're muted, Ali.
There's fear of looking stupid.
Yeah, it's the fear of looking stupid. So it's an anxiety.
Yeah, and it's a really old fear. It's one of my basic character defects, if you like.
And that would have come from your childhood when you were growing up.
Yeah.
So it's a childhood wound. Yeah. So what spiritual principle can you apply to that wound?
Acceptance is some of it. I have to accept first, yeah. And hope as well. I have a lot of hope that not just that I'll be all right at the job, because it's not just that. It's hope that I'll be accepted by the other people around me. And do you know my biggest fear is that I lose that integrity is that I won't just be authentically me, that I'll start trying to be something I'm not because I want to show that I can do this and I'll be all right and you can trust us to do this and all that stuff. That I just have to have faith and hope that people will just see that anyway without me pushing some bullshit version of me out there that's like ego. Do you know what I mean? Because I can feel myself wanting to do that. I can feel myself wanting to justify. And it's that fear of looking stupid and like looking not capable. And that's such an old one.
So it
But
sounds
you're
like it's about
sorry.
as old as sounds like it's about as old as Charlie's fear.
Yeah, I think it is.
Yeah.
But I'm surrounded by people with integrity, and that massively helps.
Does it?
Sorry, I can't hear very well because they're all shouting panto stuff next door.
Oh, I said, does it help you if you're surrounded by people with integrity? Does that help?
Oh, it really does. Yeah, because with integrity, there's an authenticity. People are just themselves and they know themselves. And when I've talked to quite a few people today, people that I really didn't know about how I was feeling, and there was that immediate connection of somebody going, I know how you feel. Like we have a shorthand language in recovery. And that helps immeasurably. I can't even put into words how much that helps. It makes me feel emotional how much that helps because I feel that a room full of people who didn't know us on Monday are suddenly on my side.
Okay.
That's what integrity is. Integrity is people just loving and caring, even if they don't know you.
Okay. So love is another spiritual principle, yeah? Unconditional love.
Aye, it's full of it.
Unconditional love is a
Thank you. Sorry, you're so loud. Yes, unconditional love. And unconditional positive regard.
yeah. Okay. So that's a few of the spiritual principles. Okay. Right. So Charlie's yawning's getting to me. And I feel for him. And if I was to read the container, I think it's time for a break, huh?
Coffee.
Yeah.
I have to go as well. Sorry, I have to go into a one-on-one.
Are you checking out, Ellie?
I have to, sorry.
No. Don't apologize. It's fine. How are you checking out? What's your takeaway today? Thank you for coming. We'll see you
My
next week.
takeaway
What's your takeaway?
that I need to get over myself a bit. And I mean that in a positive way, that I need to stop overthinking this shit, that I just have to accept I'm surrounded by people who think I can do this, and I just have to have some self-belief and stop being so overly critical of myself. That's my takeaway from today. And this has helped me get to that. Thank you.
Bye, Ellie.
Thank you for bringing it. Thank you for bringing it, because that was nice, interesting.
Fantastic, Ali. Fantastic.
All right.
Thank you.
I'll see you. I'll see you all at 6 minutes past.
I'll see you in a wee bit.
See you next week.
See you in a bit.
Bye, Ali.
Bye.
See you all in 10 minutes.
Bye, Ali.
Bye.
What are you having for your lunch, David?
Hey,
What you had for your lunch?
what did I have?
Yeah.
I had 2 eggs, a banana, a bite of salami, a cup
Wow.
of coffee, and now I'm drinking half a cup of hot chocolate.
Are you eating? Can I have my banana? I'm so hungry.
Are you back, Ellie? I thought
You're back.
checking out.
They didn't need me, so I thought I might as well come back in here if that's all right.
Oh, no, you need to go.
Fuck off. Eh? But I'll sit and eat a banana off screen if that's all right. I'm starving.
So am I.
I was too
I've
emotional
got-
to eat lunch.
Hmm?
Sorry, Charlie, what did you say?
I've got vegetable soup and I've got chicken, broccoli, and sprouts. Yes, I have. Yes, I have.
Super healthy.
I know, it's just the life I lead.
You sound like you're full of shit, man.
I'm just saying that out loud so David Collins can hear me.
He's proper full of shit. Listen, I bought my Himalayan salt yesterday, Charlie, so give me a minute. Right, 7 minutes past. Okay, let's ask Daisy to build the container since she's just taken a mouthful of food. So, who'd like to build the container? Daisy's making sure she's eating. I can't do it, my mouth's full. Okay, who doesn't want to build the container?
I don't mind doing it. My mouth is empty now. I
Okay,
didn't think everyone wanted to hear me chew. Right. So, how is everyone feeling? Should we do a little check-in as we've come back from our little break?
what a great start, Daisy. Well done.
Thank you.
Yeah, I check in drinking hot chocolate. It's bloody cold where I am. So, yeah, and I don't care what Charlie thinks about me drinking hot chocolate. He must deal with his feelings. Huh. Now check in with Joy. I take it, Charlie, you bastard.
I was just about some chicken and broccoli in my mouth there. I am checking in. Had a really good hour there, and I'm looking forward to this next hour for the Recovery Wellness Programme. And I am going to choose Ali.
Charlie, I'm checking in feeling a lot more grounded and really quite glad that my 1-to-1 isn't happening so I can come back here because this felt like a lovely safe space. And I'm checking in really hungry. I've not been able to eat today because of my anxiety. I'm sat. The fact I'm sat having a banana is a really good sign. So I'm going to pass it over to Daisy.
Yeah, I'm glad you're feeling a bit better from this morning. I'm feeling good. Yeah, I've had lots of messages about my good news that I had this morning. Basically, I got the funding that I put in a bid for.
Wow.
So yeah, so really happy about that. It's kind of sunk in now that it was successful, so I feel good. Yeah. How about you, Claire?
I'm checking in with the woman down, as you can see. He hasn't come back on. All the other staff have had to go off doing stuff, so Vicky's had to man the office. But yeah, just looking forward to the rest of the session.
Sure.
Sorry, what did you say?
Are you sure? You don't sound 100% convinced.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, I don't always kind of show on the outside what I'm feeling on the inside. My therapist says that a lot.
Right, so where do we want to go this afternoon? What do we want to do? Any topic?
let's stay with spiritual principles, Daisy.
Okay, we're staying with spiritual principles. David, help, I'm lost.
What what about courage?
Courage.
Sorry, I've just got some Brussels sprout in my mouth. Yeah, courage and discipline were massive for someone like me who thought I had courage my whole life, but never really had courage, and discipline where I thought I was disciplined, but I never had discipline in my life. So I always, especially the newcomers, when they come into AA, I can so relate with when they walk through those doors and you just see the fear, all this fear and sweat in their eyes, and I always try and approach them and and just say the courage that they've actually took to walk through those doors. Because for myself to go into recovery was life changing. I never knew it then because I was absolutely terrified at my wits' end. But courage has been massive, and discipline as well. I was always disciplined. I mean, I could know where to get my drugs and my drink from, but anything else, man, didn't really matter. When I added discipline, for me, I added structure, and knew that I'm in discipline and the structure, you man work hand in hand with each other. But courage is massive. Even speaking in this your container, I just feel as if for me, like my courage has just been it goes past fear because I saw I didn't realize I'd been in fear my whole life until I came into recovery, and then somehow going through the spiritual man principles, and I got to step four, and I'm sure that's a spiritual man principle, and step four on courage, and just that feeling of going the courage to tell someone else, like, like, or even write my stuff down and then tell me someone else what I've actually done my whole life was. I thought I'm never going to do this. I went, wow, I'm never going to tell him this, wow, and it just poured out of me, and I was like, what is this? And I kind of related to like first of all, it was like me giving my sponsor in the fellowship, like my anchor that had been tied around my neck my whole life. Like, that? Like, here, guys, have this. I've got someone I can give this to. This is awesome. How much more do you want? Because I've got loads coming. So courage and discipline, for me, Daisy.
How does that courage make you feel? Like when you show courage, does that make you feel?
Oh, how does courage make me feel? That's a really good question. It brings on my passion. It brings on my passion. As I spoke about, my biggest fear has been speaking my whole my life, and when I get passionate and I talk, and then I know I'm going to get stuck at a word, it's like, fuck it, I'm going to go through this word because I would have clammed up my life. Um, and then just the courage to like speak to other people in the fellowship, or just speak to normal people and look at them in the eye when you're talking to them was phenomenally difficult. I mean, whenever I was on drugs or drink, I could speak the back of my donkey, take me off all these man substances, and I would be looking at your feet, or I wouldn't be coming out the house. It would be as simple as that because I will, so that I'd lost connection into isolation, and that's where I was like for the last years. So even like the courage to come out of the isolation and like get connected really. And I feel that on my now I'm on my I'm past the second year now. I feel the connection now is getting more connected through this community. And I just feel like every little bit of step I take, that my feeling of courage man comes man with me is saying, do you know what, man, Charles, you're actually doing this. Whereas before I'd be like, you're not doing this, backtrack, back into isolation. So I think, it's that my feeling of trust, belonging, acceptance for the first time in my life. Um, yeah, I think that's it.
That's great.
Well, thanks, Daisy. What a great
Right,
question.
as Katie's just come in, would you like to have a quick check-in, Katie, and we'll do a little roundup of what we've just been talking about?
Yes. Apologies for being late. I'm feeling that I was a little bit frustrated because the whole system decided to update, and I was sitting waiting to get back on. But no, I feel really positive today, and this container has made that more so. Thank you.
Right, so we've just been talking obviously about our spiritual principles, and Charlie came in and said that one of his spiritual principles is courage. And we were just exploring how courage kind of presented for him and how it made him feel. So that's what you've just pretty much all we've been over so far.
Thank you.
Does anyone else have any experiences with courage and how it makes them feel and how it might present in their lives?
Yeah, I do. Because I still battle a little bit with courage. So I definitely found my courage in my space, in my recovery space. Bringing it into the real world, if you like, is a little bit more tricky. I definitely feel that I'm starting to find more courage within my work life. But something that I will touch on, because everyone knows about my agoraphobia here, so obviously that's a very deep-seated fear that's been long term, and I struggle with that all the time. But as some of you know, I have a job just across the road that I go to, and I've been finding that really difficult. Like lately, I've been there, and it's like, oh God. But my courage comes from, I still go every single time, even though it's only that little step. I still go, even though I know sometimes it's going to be really uncomfortable. I still do it, and that to me is courage. Is doing something that you know is perhaps not going to be nice, or it's going to be uncomfortable, but you still do it anyway and try and work a way through that. So yeah, it's very important to me, courage. Still learning it.
Yeah, of course. I think everyone at some point, that difficult thing that they don't want to do, and take that courage to overcome it. How does it feel when you do overcome it? Do you get a kind of sense of pride?
Yes, I do, because I'm so stuck a lot of the time in that mindset, because it's such a long-term thing of actually, it's just always going to be like this. But when I just keep doing it anyway, I'm like, look, you can. Okay, you're doing it anyway. All right, it's shit, but you're doing it anyway. And hopefully one day that will change if you keep putting the steps and the work in, So yeah, it can be quite empowering, courage. Sometimes I'll come and, yes, I wanted to run home like half an hour ago and I didn't, and I'm all right, and I'm okay. Yeah.
I'd like to come in on courage, because I've been really thinking about what that means for me. And I thought it'd be obvious stuff like public speaking, that I don't need courage for that. I'm all right with that. Where I really need courage is to stand up for something and not people please. I'm such an inveterate people pleaser. And like today as an example, having to ask my boss for something like a train the trainer course. Now, I knew he was going to shoot me down because he just thinks that's not helpful. And I knew I really wanted that, and I would have to not fight for it, but put it in the right way, put it in a way that he would understand. And I just want to roll over. Every part of me wants to roll over and go, I'll do whatever you tell me. I just want you to like me and tell me I'm doing a good job and pat me like a wee dog. You know, every part of me wants that. And I really, really struggle to stand up for something that I think not just is right, but that I need. Right. I can advocate for anybody else, but standing up for something that I think I need and not backing down because I know I need it, I find that so hard. I've, let's say, every part of me just wants to roll over and go, oh, I didn't really need that. No, you're fine. You're absolutely right. I don't need that. And the people pleasing in me will drag me out sometimes. It will drag me away from people. It will stop me being authentic. And I just want to please. And the feeling that gives me is such shame. Like, there's real shame in that because I know better. And every time I manage to do it, I learn from it. And I think, right, just do that the next time. But every time it's just as hard. You know, that people pleasing is so in us. There's just such a need to be liked and validated that I can't seem to get rid of. I can do it for myself up to a point, but I cannot get rid of it. Yeah, and so I struggle. That's where I need courage to stand up for what I know I need, you know?
Yeah. So what changed for you today in giving you the ability to find that courage to you know, ask your boss and stand up for yourself?
Talking to two other people about it, them really hearing me and them really like being in it with me. I felt like they were allies. Like they both said to me in different ways, you will have to fight for asking for this. You know, you will be shot down and you'll have to find a way to put it across if that's what you want. And I was thinking, oh, well, do I really want it? Do I really need it? And I don't even know if I do. But what changed for me was people allying. It's being an ally, you know? I felt I wasn't alone and that they understood my frustration. And that, do you know, the thing they gave me was that what I'm asking for is not unrealistic. They gave me that validation of, yeah, if you want this, go for it. You know, it might help you. That helped a ton because I don't always know if what I'm asking for is something I need. I don't always have the courage of my convictions and the thing that I'm asking for. Do you know what I mean? That I'm so easily pushed back down. You know, if somebody, you know, I'll go around the houses. I'll be like, oh, you know, I get a bit craving about it. Oh, I'm sorry to bother you. And and God, the shame of that, the shame of, you know, taking up space and then knowing that I'm trying not to. Oh, I hate that. It's horrible. I love the women nodding.
We're all just nodding.
Men are like, oh, I know, I can take up space. I've got white male privilege. The women are like, yes.
Yeah.
He's got white male privilege.
The white male privileged people in the room, the ones who you're okay to take up space. I'm not saying, by the way, that that's how you feel. I'm just saying that historically, you know what I mean?
I love, I mean, I just went straight to level 1 listening there when you said white male privilege. It's like, oh, yes, let's go down.
Oh, now I'm interested.
Should we go that way? What does it feel like?
Well, what's great about that is particularly for the white males, heterosexual white males, yeah, or what's it, cisgender? What's the correct word?
Cisgender heterosexual males.
Yeah, old cisgender heterosexual males like myself.
Like yourself, yeah.
We need to become aware of the other voices. And we live in a very heteronormative society, and for my lot, for want of a better word, to be able to do things differently, we need to be okay to create the environment that people are able to have courageous conversations. Like Ali should feel safe enough to say, David, you're being a prick. And as coaches, we need to be okay with that, to get that feedback. And also just to kind of understand the projection that might be happening, even though it's not said. So I might be working with Ali in a team or in a container or something, and her repressed anger, her swallowed anger will be coming out sideways because of previous kind of wounding or something. So you were very passionate there, Ali, huh?
Is that how it came across?
Well, okay, well, what does the rest of the container think?
Yeah, really passionate and really articulate. You articulated how I feel in a lot of situations. You spoke for me there. Absolutely. Yeah. And that's nice. You know, that awareness, because I can't always see it myself. Can't always see what it is I'm feeling when I feel uncomfortable in those situations. And you've just told it to me. You know, that's what I do. That's how I feel.
I
And
agree.
how's that for you, Katie? How is that for you to have someone voice your voice in the container?
Sorry, I've got drilling going on next door. Can you repeat that?
How is that for you to have someone in the container speak your voice?
It makes me feel comforted. It makes me feel accepted, and it makes me feel part of, which is really important.
Yeah, because my take on is there was quite a bit of an emotional response there, Katie. Yeah, it's like, oh fuck, thank God somebody's saying how I feel. Great. Sorry, Daisy, you were going to say something similar.
Yeah, I was just going to agree. I think I also have that fear of taking up space and asking for too much and being too much. And yeah, I think what you expressed was very relatable to obviously quite a few of us. And it is nice to hear that, you know, it's not nice to hear that it's a universal experience among some women, but nice to know that you're not the only one struggling with that problem, which we all have that kind of relief from obviously talking with other lived experience people. But yeah, it's nice to hear that from other women and to know that you had the courage to take up the space you needed and ask for what you wanted. Kind of inspiring.
I was still a bit craving, Daisy.
So what spiritual principles get applied in the container when such an honest voice gets heard?
I think there's definitely hope.
Yeah, that's just what I was going to say.
I'll let you go, Katie.
No, that's exactly what I was going to say.
Hope for what, Charlie?
Hope that our voice has been heard. Hope that that we're not in this alone, and there's people around us that when we speak out may invalidate or not what Ali's Emin said. And there's a great determination when we speak out our words, and then people who are around us are really listening, to us, and are really going to tell us the truth. That integrity as we spoke about. And then I could imagine, I mean, with the feedback that Ali's got, there's been great hope there that what she's wanting to do can be achievable with the conversations that she's had. That that it's not just her craving for this whatever this role. That it's that the hope is that she can do it. And by listening to her and watching her, she is more than capable, absolutely more than capable of what she sets her stall out. I could only imagine how far she's going to go in this by listening to her today. It's been phenomenal. But I must say, I don't have a fucking clue about white privilege, white male privilege. And please don't bring it to the container again. I'm just dealing with some. I'm just dealing with other privilege.
So say that, Charlie. Say some more. I mean, a few weeks ago, you really became aware of white male privilege in terms of racism.
Yes, I did. Yeah, I did.
Yep, and now you're becoming aware of it in terms of gender.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the spiritual principle that I need to practice in this environment is humility.
Yeah.
Yep, and I need to be courageous enough to shut up and fucking listen to the anger, and not to jump in and go, oh, not me, I'm not one of them, and I'm not like that, but to actually be okay and to hold the space to hear the voice. Yeah. And to be I guess self-loving enough to know that it's not about me, but it is about me as well. It's about what I represent, but it's not me.
Yeah.
It's not easy. How are you feeling now, Ali? Because you're in a very different space from when you first came on. Your voice was kind of quite sheepish, and I don't know if I belong here, and oh fuck, they're gonna kick me out. And now an hour and a half into it, it's away with you bastards.
I feel empowered. Yeah, I feel like I got my voice back a bit there. And like all day I've been trying to be meek and mild and unseen, and knowing that I was going to have to do a thing and being so uncomfortable with that. And now, whether I did it or not, now doesn't matter actually. Do you know what I mean? It's the fact that I recognise what that space feels like and how it's not good for me to be in that space, how small it makes me feel, and how. So right now, I feel really empowered. And that's lovely.
How about you, Claire? Do you have any thoughts about courage or how Ali's feeling? How do you feel about it?
I get anxiety a lot doing new things and meeting new people, talking on Zoom. So I guess, yeah, I have to use a bit of courage every day, really. I don't know what else to say.
What would courage look like for you?
Doing something out of your comfort zone, something that you are scared to do, yeah, having the courage to do that.
when Ali spoke about having like an alliance behind her, gave her the confidence to be courageous, is there anything that you think might help you to be creative?
Sorry, you were breaking up a little bit there.
Oh, was I? I was saying that Ali, obviously, she had like an alliance behind her that inspired her to be courageous and ask for what she needed. Is there any kind of tools or support that you think would help you be courageous?
I'm not sure. I think the more I get to know people, the easier it is, and I become more myself. I don't know if there's anything else that would help. Just time. Time helps. And silences makes us feel anxious too.
Sorry, I don't mean to laugh. It's just it's silent for too long. I'll start laughing.
You're anxious.
Yeah.
So what spiritual principle can you apply when you're anxious?
Courage.
Courage. And faith. Faith is an important one. Faith in the container. Faith that it'll work itself out. It'll go where it needs to. Claire, I really appreciated your vulnerability there. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
a nice little smile. What's been going on in your world?
Work world or personal world?
Whatever.
My client list is getting smaller at work. A lot of people are unreachable and having to close a lot of people due to non-engagement. Yeah, personal.
And how does that make you feel?
Frustrated sometimes.
Frustrated. Yeah. Okay. So where the fuck are these people? What's going on?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Sad that that they're not engaging.
Sad not engaging. Great. I mean, it's not great that that's happening. It's great that you're sharing it. Yeah. Okay. Because it's fucking hard as well. We can have all the enthusiasm, willingness, but when our clients don't do that or whoever it is, it's difficult. So I just want to bring some perspective. It's coming up to Christmas. Yeah. And a lot of people check out for Christmas and go, oh, fuck it, I'll clean up in the new year. So it's also important to kind of step back and see the wave of mental health that happens. Yeah, so we can look after ourselves in it as well.
Yeah, it's a hard time for a lot of people.
Yeah, okay. And it can feel despondent at times. Yeah, I know when people continuously fucking struggle. For me, I can think, fucking hell, what's the point?
Yeah.
And then you'll get that one person that comes along. Container's tired now, hey? Katie's passing out there. Daisy's yawning. there goes Claire. There's a big yawn from Claire.
It's contagious.
Yeah. Okay. There's another one from Daisy.
And so if you keep saying yawn, I will keep yawning.
Same.
All right. So I'll tell you what, why don't we start to check out then? Why don't we start to wrap this container up? Yeah? So what's your takeaway today? Oh, Claire's exhausted today. The energy is quite heavy, huh? It's been quite an emotional journey. And I know I said a couple of weeks ago we'd be bringing in the recovery wellness part of it, and we've still got the systemic wellness, and I'm hoping I got the balance all right as well with the both. So supporting Ali as she's come into her new role within the organization and that systemic impact, and then honoring the recovery wellness program part of this as well, which I said I would be touching on. Yeah, so I think I'm dancing all right, but I'm open to any feedback on what I could do better. Just remember, this is there's the theory and the practice. Yeah, and hopefully you get some practice, but then there's the process of what goes on. Yeah, so as someone goes through a process and we witness that process, hopefully we learn stuff as well. Okay, so the energy has really fucked off her. And sometimes you just need to call it. All right. So I'll go with, I'll ask Ali, what are you checking out now? You just kind of giggled there and fucking called it.
Called it time of death. It's 1542. I'm checking out, really grateful. I didn't want to come here today. I didn't want to look at anything. I didn't want to feel stuff. Sometimes it's just tiring feeling stuff. And I'm going away tired. But like quite a weight's been lifted, it feels like. It does. I don't quite know how that's happened. I do and I don't, but I'm checking out with real gratitude for everybody here. Thank you.
Wonderful. I can see the weight's been lifted.
Don't. I'll start crying, David. We don't want that.
I want that. I want that.
Yeah, I've cried on here. Can someone else cry, please?
I want that.
Where you greeting about the new Ali?
Nae greeting, pal. Nae greeting.
Who are you tagging, Ali?
Sorry, Charlie. I want to see you greeting now. How are?
Oh, I'll be greeting hen. I'll be greeting.
Greeting
Ah.
him.
Greeting. I am checking out. Grateful. I love how we can come to this container. I think the word was mentioned, faith. We can come to the container, and we put the faith in the container, and we have supported Ali, and it's been lovely to meet you, Ali. It's been lovely to spend time with you all in this container, and I'm checking out grateful, and I am going to choose Katie.
I knew you was going to choose me. I am also checking out really grateful. Really nice to meet you, Ali. You really inspired some thoughts around my own way of thinking and my own behaviour. And actually how I did something similar to you this morning and didn't even realise it. I didn't realise that uncomfortableness was there and all of that. So it's bringing that awareness to me that, first of all, I can do these things. First of all, I can be aware, and that I can make changes to it, and bring things to this container. And it always seems to be a little solution, even if I wasn't looking for it. So yeah, feeling really grateful and happy to be here today. And I also have to say, I'm really impressed with Daisy's coaching today. I thought it was amazing. On a personal level, I've watched Daisy's journey, in this field, and it's really inspiring, really inspiring. Anyway, with that, I will tag Daisy.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm actually really grateful that I got the opportunity to do that, and that I employed the courage we were talking about to do it, because usually, like David said, I'd be eating my biscuits, avoiding eye contact and trying not to get picked. So no, I'm glad I did it. Any other feedback is very welcome. I do want to get better at it. But yeah, so I'm really grateful. So thank you. And I'll pass to Claire.
I didn't think you sounded anxious or nervous at all. You come across quite confident, so well done. I'm checking out, grateful that this is a safe space and that we can be a bit vulnerable, and checking out also tired. And I'll pass to David.
Great, thank you, everyone. I will see you all next week. Yeah, keep doing what you're doing. Do you want any homework? So Ali was a no. Daisy's yeah, whatever. Fuck it.
Whatever you want to, yeah.
Yeah, if you want to, I'm not going to do it anyway. So just like fuck it.
Daisy, you're giving off head girl energy.
Oh really?
Yeah. Give us homework then. Go on.
No, not at all. Not at all. Oh God.
Okay, so your homework is to rest up.
Sounds
Perfect.
good.
Just observe. All right, everyone.
Ciao for now.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Ciao for now.
Everyone, have a good week.
Yeah, you guys
Thanks.
have a good weekend.
Okay, turn this off.
Bye.